Okay, today is exciting for two different reasons. The first of which is in this box, and the second of which is something else that's new that's even bigger. But let's get into this first. So this is a package from friends of the channel over at Peak Design, and they have finally come out with an outdoor bag line. This is the 45-liter outdoor backpack, and this is the 7-liter outdoor sling. I didn't think I was gonna be super into the sling, but I'm kind of excited now that I have it in my hand. And since these are outdoor bags, I definitely wanna take them outside to try them in their proper environment. But that's gonna lead us to the second thing that's exciting about today. I got a new car. So we got a new car, I got my rooftop tent put on it as well. We got a new backpack that's made for the outdoors. Kind of makes sense that we take it on a little road trip. If you've been around my channel, you'll know that I spend a lot of my time talking about camera gear, and I may have a bit of an obsession with camera backpacks. And while this trip is going to be a great opportunity to test that new backpack, I'm also using it to reconnect with my love for nature photography after being too busy for a while to really allow myself the space to get out there and do it. And since I also wanted to put some miles on the new car, I decided to drive 4 hours up to Strathcona Provincial Park, camp overnight, and do one of my favorite hikes on Vancouver Island, and hopefully get some great photos along the way. Okay, just gassed up outside of Campbell River. We've got about an hour left in the drive. The drive is about to get really beautiful, and unfortunately, the weather's not looking great for photography. We've got just like an entire sky of clouds. So we'll see, hopefully some of that clears, or just like go full misty mode on me so I can get some moody stuff, but let's hit the road again. So we've officially made it into Strathcona Provincial Park, which means that we're just a couple of kilometers away from the campground that I'm staying tonight. The weather has been kind of on and off drizzling / I'm not sure if I'm driving through a cloud, which has been absolutely gorgeous, but doesn't necessarily make for a great sunrise hike. I have absolutely zero service out here, so I can't check if the weather is changing for me. So I'm basically just making this all up as I go, and that's kind of wonderful in a way. Not everything has to go exactly how I wanted it to, and I'm trying to get used to the idea of just like going with the flow a little bit more. And in the meantime, I'm just gonna hang out here for a few minutes and take in the beautiful scenery of the water back here with the mist and the clouds kind of happening over and the mountains in the distance. It's absolutely stunning. All right, we got a little break in, time for the last leg of today's driving down to Ralph River Campground. I was coming around this corner and I saw two things that were really exciting to me. First of all, I saw blue skies. And second of all, I saw this kind of vista with these little peaking mountaintops just out of the clouds, and it just like every once in a while you can just see the very peak of one. And if I wait long enough, I keep getting these little peaks, that these little tiny like kind of vignettes in the mountainside where there's either some beautiful light or something peeking through the clouds. It's just so cool. So I've got the 70-200 on me right now, and I'm just kind of like sniping little bits and pieces out of it. It's very cool. Note to self, I don't like setting up the tent in the dark. Try and get to the campsite before dark. Okay, I'm exhausted, so I'm excited to get some sleep, and I'll see you in the morning for a little bit of an adventure. I managed to get up by 6:30 a.m. or so, but I took the morning a bit slowly since it didn't look like there was going to be any kind of sunrise at all. Of course, I had to make some coffee and get something to eat, but my mind was really on what to do in terms of actually getting out to the trail and whether there would be anything to photograph or not. Once I got everything cleaned up after breakfast, I grabbed all my gear and I took a stroll down to the water at the end of Ralph River to see what was going on in terms of weather and the views. As expected, we have full cloud cover. It's looking kind of cool and misty, and I'm really interested to know what happens once we hike up to a higher elevation. Maybe we can get above some of these clouds. And also there are some really hot spots in the clouds, so there is a chance that the sun can burn some of them off. So I think maybe it's time we go back to the car and get on our way to the trailhead. One thing I'm noticing too is that we're definitely getting some of those fall colors happening. Exciting! Well, we did it. We finally made it onto the trail. It is absolutely gorgeous out. The clouds are just gone up here. It is just blue skies. Starting a little cold with just shorts and a t-shirt for now. That's because I know I'm about to get hot and sweaty real quick. This is an out and back hike called the Bedwell Lakes hike because it eventually leads to two different lakes by the names of Baby Bedwell and Bedwell Lake. Both of the lakes have campsites with platforms if you want to make an overnight trip of it, but I've only ever done it as a day hike, leaving me with between 10 and 12 kilometers traveled in total and around 600 meters of elevation gain. It starts out super beautiful with giant trees, lush forest, and bridges crossing over creeks, but it fairly quickly gets into the leg burners with makeshift stairs and switchbacks that really start to expose that elevation. And to top it off, the terrain of the path includes a ton of tree roots and rocky areas, so it's slow going as you watch your feet to make sure you know where you're stepping. Whew. We're about an hour in at this point. We've gone about 2.5 kilometers, 263 meters of elevation gain. This is a good one. One of the cool things is how many mushrooms are out right now. They are everywhere. All sorts of different kinds, all sorts of different colors. Some stuff I've never seen before. There's definitely some squishy, muddy spots, but it's not too bad. You definitely gotta watch your feet because there's no easy paths here. Kind of looking down most of the time. When you do look up, it's absolutely stunning though. Oh no, somebody dropped their mushroom. About 2 hours in at this point, just over 4.25 kilometers kind of thing. I saw a little path that I didn't see last time, a little side quest, if you will. And it came to this kind of like appetizer lake. It's not like the full meal deal, but like it's a cute little starter for the lake hike. What are these weird chicken looking things? It scared me when they flew away. Okay, weird chickens, mountain chickens. Two and a half hours in, and we have made it to Baby Bedwell. So there are 2 lakes here. The first lake is Baby Bedwell, and then I think the other one they just call Bedwell. We can stop here or we can keep going. I think I am gonna stop here for a bit because I'm hungry. So maybe stop for a little lunch break and then we'll keep going. That may have been the strangest lunch that I think I've ever had. Pepperoni cheese stick, like one of those cheese bread sticks, but with a big old thing of pepperoni in the middle of it. Sugar-free candy things, some rice chips, and a protein bar. But hey, I feel good, so that's what counts, I guess. This was my initial kind of first big stop for potential photography spots because this beautiful vista of the mountain over the lake is quite nice. But the light right now is pretty harsh and the sun is just giving her right now and in the worst spot, and it's kind of only gonna get worse. So I'm thinking instead we make our way over to the other lake and see if things are looking better over there because it is kind of facing a slightly different direction. But I also wanted to give some kind of first impressions on this bag. Comfort-wise, I'm quite happy with it. It feels pretty good. I really like the straps. They've got kind of a good blend of squish versus structure, which I know is a tricky thing to get on a backpack. I really like the dual side pocket, and I like whatever material they've used here. It's super stretchy. Just to show you how gigantic and useful these dual water bottle pockets are. So if I take a huge water bottle like that, so it feels like it's taking up most of the space in there, but this still has so much stretch to it. So if I take that towel, which is basically the same size as the water bottle, I still have lots of room to slip it in there, and then you can kind of secure the whole thing with this, just like so. I did struggle a little bit trying to kind of adjust it while I was walking. These top load adjustments, I couldn't get them to move while I'm wearing it. It's not going anywhere, which is good, of course, but also I just wanted to be able to just adjust it and kind of feel it out. So there are these 4 different height adjustments, and I think I need to put it on the top one. I think I'm too tall or my torso is too long. So I'm gonna switch that over and see if that makes it a little bit better. The waist strap, which you can see I was carrying my bear spray in, one side has this kind of stretchy mesh pocket. I like the waist strap for sure. It's comfortable like the back straps. I did find that the padded portion doesn't come out very far, like it doesn't wrap around you very far. And I don't necessarily have a large waist, so for people that are bigger than me, I can see that maybe being a problem, but it would be nice to have the padding go out just like another inch or something like that so that it kind of gives you a little bit more of that hug around the waistline. Also, because it doesn't come out very far, I noticed that the pockets themselves are a little bit hard to get at because you really have to like reach back to get at them. I quite liked having a dual chest strap. Those shoulder straps have mesh pockets on them, which is really nice. I was using this one for my phone, listening to the Lord of the Rings, and I can start and stop it through the mesh itself. I can see it in there, so I just tap on it to light up the screen, and then I can hit play and pause pretty easy. I'm sure that's not what that was intended for, but it works really nicely. And then behind each of these pockets, there's also a spot to attach your capture clip. I'm using the Falcam F38 one, and I don't actually think I have it on there correctly now that I'm looking at it closer. And just a quick overview of how I've got it set up. So in the back, I've got all my camera gear. In the very front section down here, that's where I was putting all my food, which is where I'm gonna put all my garbage right now. Up in the roll top, that's where I've got extra clothes. So I've got an extra pair of socks, shorts, t-shirt, my jacket that I'm currently wearing, but it was up there, and a pair of pants just in case it gets cold. And then in this back pocket here, I've got just kind of extra stuff that normally would go in like my pants pocket, but I just wanted it to be there so that when I get back to the car, I have easy access to it. On one side in the water bottle spot, I had my gigantic 1 liter Nalgene. That just goes right in there. And then on the other side in the big pocket, in case I want to go for a dip, I've got a towel so that I can do that. And then on the very front, I've got these 2 side pockets. On one side, I've just got camera stuff. So I've got spare batteries and all my filters. And then on the other side, I've got electrolyte drink things, hand sanitizer, and some sunscreen just in case. And it's looking like I might need it at some point. And it still feels like there's a lot of space left to use in this bag. Like obviously the roll top is like rolled all the way down. I haven't strapped anything to the outside yet. So you can definitely pack a lot of stuff in this. All right, let's head to the other lake. Well, that was quicker than I expected. We have now arrived at the Bedwell Lakes viewpoint. We've got some cool kind of misty stuff happening on the mountains in the distance. Lighting is tough. I think we might have better luck and maybe a better composition if we actually go right down beside the lake. Okay, scratch that for a second. I found a path that is obviously a path, but didn't have a marking on it. So I don't know where it goes, and I need to explore. Okay, so this bonus spot that I just kind of found actually turned out to be pretty cool. I got some cool shots of the mountains with the mist on them. I got some shots of the trees that are around. So lesson to us all, always follow the unmarked path that you see because you're curious and you just can't help yourself. Good advice. With that being said, I think it's time to start heading back towards the car. It's starting to get a little cold, and if I head out now, I'll get back to my car just before it gets dark. I'm on my way back and I thought, you know what, I'm gonna stop at Baby Bedwell again, see if maybe there's a better photo opportunity and change my socks for the way back, because it's a nice feeling to have fresh socks. And check this out. That's Baby Bedwell right now. Remember there was a mountain over there before? And now it's just absolutely covered in like a fog. The previous time that I did this hike, I didn't give myself enough time to rest at the lakes, and the way back absolutely killed my legs and my feet. So this time, with that nice lunch break and a fresh pair of socks, it made it so much easier to do the hike down. I put the video camera away in favor of taking some photos of the fog that was rolling in and the many mushrooms that I saw along the way. It felt like walking through an enchanted forest, and I mean, who knows, maybe I was. Overall, it was a great hike, just over 11 kilometers total, 600 meters of elevation gain, 4.5 hours of moving time, and 6.5 hours total. It wasn't easy, but it was worth the effort. And I definitely accomplished my goal of feeling connected to nature photography again. I made it. I made it back. Oh, that was a good one. Feel good, definitely better than last time. The way back just kind of ended up being like a mushroom photo shoot. I can't wait to drink some water and get home to my bed.